Hey everyone, welcome again on the Stack channel. So in the last video of this series, we draw the bar chart in our Flutter app. But what we did that we hard coded the data to draw this bar chart. As I told that moving forward, first we will draw the chart using hard coded data. Then after we will get the data from the REST API and populate that data in our chart. So in this video, we are going to deal with the REST APIs. So first we will get the data using the REST API and then we will populate that data in our bar chart. So let's start that thing. But before I will move forward, I will just wanted to ask you a favor. So my DevStack channel have this many number of playlists like chat app, blog app, Flutter with Firebase, which is a to-do app, and different kind of playlists I have. So please don't forget to subscribe this channel, like the video and share the video to your friend. It will highly motivate me. Also, I have my GitHub profile. So in the GitHub profile, you will find many Flutter snippet available. Please show your support over here also and follow me on GitHub. Also, you can find a different social media link on the description. Please don't forget to follow over there. Okay, so let's start. So we are going to deal with the REST API, right? So I just found one REST API, which is a public REST API, and it will predict your gender. Like I'm just passing my name over here in a params, and with help of that, it is predicting my name. It is predicting my gender. Okay, it is also showing the count, the number of people have the same name. Okay, so what I plan that in the bar chart, what we have the x-axis and we have the y-axis. Y-axis generally show the counts, right? So in this video, what we are going to do, we are going to use this API, and in the x-axis we are going to show the name, and in the y-axis we are going to show the count. So as of now, you can see that we are getting only one data, but this REST API take a number of name and give the list of data in return. So what we have to do, we just have to pass params like this. Okay, so here let's pass 4 params like socket. Let's use the AND operation again. It will add another params Bhanu. So we are getting 4 data over here. If I will go on a raw data and use pretty print, then you will find we are getting a list of data, right? Okay, so we are going to use this API to fetch the data, and we are going to show this data in our bar chart. Also, we can add another name, Akif. Okay, so we have 5 names and different number of count available over here. Now let's create a model class for this data. So as you know, to deal with the REST API, first we need to create a model class for them to pass that data from normal JSON object to the normal Dart object. Okay, so we are going to do that thing, but first let me use this HTTP package and add this dependency on our pubspec.yaml file, because to work with the REST API we need a package which will going to deal with the REST API from the Flutter app. So HTTP is a package which deal with the REST API. So I will hit the save, and automatically the pubget will run, and this dependency will going to install on our Flutter project. Now we have to add a model class, right? So let's create a model class and name it new name like gender model .dart file. So typically to create a model class, we have a different kind of packages, but one of the video I showed you a website that generate the model class for us. Okay, so what we just have to do, we have to use the JSON data which we are getting from the API and just copy it, and we just have to paste it on this script type website and give the name which you want. So let me name it as a gender model. And if you are a first time user, then here we have the option. In the option we can select multiple languages. As we are dealing with the Dart, that's why I have selected the Dart, but here we have multiple option to select, and it will going to generate the model class for them. Here we have the copy code. I just have to copy this code and I just have to paste that code inside our model folder. As of now, it is not generating the model class for the Flutter version. Now the Flutter have imposed the null safety, so it is not generating the code for the null safety. So we have to make it like we want. So here, to remove this error, what we have to do, we just have to add the question mark, or we need to add this we just have to remove it. Then also it will work, otherwise we can add a required keyword. So let's add a required keyword, that is a best thing. So let's add the required keyword on all of them. Now the error will go because Flutter imposed the null safety. Now we have the model class, right? Now let's make the API call. To deal with this bar chart using the REST API, I'm going to create a new file that will be a bar chart with api.dart file. So all of the code I'm pushing on the GitHub repo. You can find the GitHub repo link, and please don't forget to give a star on that GitHub repo as well. So here we are not going to write all of the code which we did on a first video. I'm just going to copy this whole code and I'm going to paste the whole code over here. Okay, so just to be sure. And the best thing is to deal with the REST API, because we are going to work on the more chart and we are going to deal with the REST API again and again. So what I'm going to do, inside the lib, I'm going to create a new folder that will be our network, and inside the network, let's create a network helper class. So I'm going to create a new file that will be the name network helper.dart, and inside the network helper.dart we're going to create a class that will deal with the network call, network helper class. And here we're going to use the HTTP package to make the REST API call. So basically in HTTP, while making the REST API call, we deal with different type of HTTP method like get or post. So here let's deal with the get method, because to fetch the data we just need a get method. Okay, so let's create a get method over here. This video may be large because first time we are creating the network handler, but in later point of time it will become shorter. Okay, so let's create a get method, and every function will return something, right? So here we have to return a future, and in the future the generic type will be a special type, which is a HTTP dot response. Okay, but first what we have to do, we have to import this HTTP package as a HTTP. Okay, so let's use this thing, import this HTTP package over here as HTTP. Okay, now let's create a method called get. Basically right now let's take one parameter call which will be a string type, which will be a URL. Okay, and here we need to call the HTTP get method. Okay, so let's use the var response HTTP dot get, and we just have to pass the URL. Remember, as of now it is looking like straightforward. You will see that why we are creating this network handler, because we are using the public API as of now, right? Because of that we don't have any kind of token to validate. Okay, that's why this get method is really simple. Okay, but if we have to deal with the API which need a token verification, then this get method will become a large. That's why it's best practice for every Flutter developer that who are working with the REST API that create a network handler class, so they don't need to just write this method again and again over on a on tap function. Okay, so here the URL is giving an error because now the URL parsing is different, so we have to parse URL like this. So let's use this URL dot parse. Okay, and let's pass our URL over here. So basically URL will be cause the confusion over here, so let's use this endpoint name and let's put this endpoint over here. So it will pass the your endpoint and generate the URL of the http.get type. Okay, and after getting the data, so basically we have to use the await over here, await, and we have to make this method async. Okay, after getting the data it will going to return the response. It is really simple as of now. Okay, but when we will going to deal with some another API, then maybe this get method be matured or something. Okay, so let's go on a bar chart with API. As of now we are fetching the data like that. Let's convert this thing to a stateful widget, and inside the okay, here we have the state of it, and bar chart with API will be the name, and this method will go not here, here only. Okay, and okay, so I just did structuring of the code because that method was in the main class. We had to use that method inside the state class only, and in every state class we have the init state. In the init state we are going to call the API. Okay, but first before calling the API, let's create something like, let's create a list model, list of this gender model. So let's create this thing, list of gender model over here, genders or something can be the name. We have to import this gender model from that class, from the gender model class, and now at the beginning we will have the empty genders, and after that what we have to do, let's create a bool method. While fetching the API, I just wanted to show the circular progress indicator. That's why I'm creating another variable called loading. It will be true initially, and then just give me some time to make all of the stuff. Then we have to create a network helper class, network helper class object, network helper. This will going to create a object of the network helper, and let's use this network helper inside this init state. So we don't need to write it here. We can use a void get data, a separate method, and inside this method we are going to get the response, and we are going to use the network helper dot get, and we have to pass the URL. It will be going to be async and await type, and here we need to pass the URL, and the URL we are going to use is the same URL we have here. So just copy this thing, paste it over here. Okay, and we'll get the response over here. And what we need to do inside the gender model, you will see that we have this gender model from JSON function, right? We have to use this function. As I told that this response is a JSON string. So this gender model from JSON method take the string and convert it and map it in a normal dot object. Okay, so that is another discussion that how it map to a normal dot object. I don't want to dig it up, so let's use that method. So here we will going to store it in our genders class, or we can store it on the another variable we can make over here quickly, temp data, and let's use that method to pass that JSON string into list of data. Dot body we need to give, and let's use this temp data, and let's set the state genders equal to temp data. Also we have to use the loading as a false. Now we have that data inside this genders variable. So instead of this thing like this final data thing, we can directly use data over here. So it is giving an error, right? So let's not make this thing static, and instead of this bar model we have to use this gender model because we are dealing with the gender model. So let's use it all over the places. Change the name, gender model. So as I told, the domain function is the x-axis. So in our gender model, the x-axis will be the name, okay, and y-axis will be the count. So we haven't visualized everything yet. Let's hit the Control S first, and let's go on a main.dart file. In the main.dart file, instead of this bar chart, so we have to change the name also. So let's change the name from bar chart to bar chart with API. Not every name. This name, this name, this name, bar chart API. Let's change the name of the state also, bar chart API. And let's use this bar chart API in the main.dart file first to visualize the data that everything is working fine or not. And let me first hit the refresh. So we are not getting anything over here. Let's go on a let's go on a bar chart with API, and let's see in a response.body what we are getting after fetching the data. Oh, first we need to call this get data inside our init state also. I just forgot to call this get data. So let's hit the save and let's refresh the page again. We're getting the same response. Then let's print this response.body. Oh, we got the data. It will take some time to fetch the data, right? That's why I created this loading. So at the time of loading, we can simply show the circular progress indicator. Circular progress indicator. Let me just refresh the page, and till the fetching the data, we will going to show the circular progress indicator. After fetching the data, we will show the graph. Here you can see that Balram, Deepa, Saget, Bhanu, Akib, everyone's data are populated now. Let me explain you everything from the beginning. Okay, as I told that we are going to deal with the REST API, that's why we are using the HTTP package, and we have created this network handler class. In the network handler, we are just wrote the code that is a snippet for us that will make a REST API call, and after making the REST API call, it will going to return the response. Right now it's a very simple method because we don't have a token validation or something else, but it is a good practice to create a separate network handler class and write all the HTTP method like get, post, update, patch, everything over here. And you just have to create that network handler. You just have to create an object of that network handler class or network helper class. And after creating that network helper class, you just have to use that method you have created inside it to making the API call. Okay, so we are dealing with the API. That's why we also created the model class for it. For creating a model class, I have used the quick type. And what are these things? You can watch a separate video that have the model class related thing that you can find in the description. Okay, and here we are making the REST API call in the get data method. And after making the REST API call, we are storing it on the temp data, because you can see that in the model class we have this gender model from JSON, which is simply take the string, which is a JSON string, and after taking this JSON string, it will map the data into normal into normal Dart object. Okay, so it is returning the list type of data which have a gender model class. That's why I have created the temp data as type of this list of gender model class. Okay, now after fetching that data and storing it on a temp data, I'm just using the set state to update the state of our Flutter app. It will make the re-render of the app. Okay, so also I'm setting the loading as a false, because at the initial I set the loading as a true, which means till we fetch the data from the API, we just have to show the circular progress indicator, and after that we have to show the bar chart. And this method, you already know that what we are doing over here, we are mapping the normal data into the type of the charts series. Okay, so that's it, that how you can draw the bar chart you already knew. But in this video, we talk about the REST API thing, that how you can fetch the data from the REST API and draw that data using the charts library. Okay, so in the last, I just wanted to say that please support this series, because in this series we are going to discuss about the REST API along with the charts drawing. So I just need your support to move forward. So please don't forget to like the video, also comment in the video to give some suggestion that how I can improve, and please share this video to your friend and subscribe this channel and follow on my every platform. Thank you all. Happy coding. See you on the next video.